Welcome to an all-new Conformist Peach Cobbler. I am Brad Reed, and I am joined by Nugget. And I won't list off all of the...
Go for it.
How did you get, okay, so, you've got, tons, Nugget. I call you Nugstradamus. A lot of people call you that, actually. Yeah. Thunderlips is new. That's the newest one.
That's your nickname, yeah.
But nobody calls you that now? Is it not picking up?
Not yet, no. I know nobody on the street has stopped and said, "Hey, you're Thunderlips, right?"
Dang it. That's my goal, is for everyone to know you as Thunderlips. I'm sure
I would look around for Hulk Hogan, honestly. I'd be like, "Where's Hulk Hogan?"
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah. Nugs Ferratu, that's my favorite one. I like that one because
that's my radio nickname, and it's just my nickname in life now.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was kind of asking you this the other day, but radio's we always end up talking a little bit about radio, but it's a little different now. And because back, when me and you first started, we were Nugget and B-Rad, and we were very careful not to share our real names with people. You know what I mean? You're not really that careful anymore, right? Because of social media and all that.
Yeah. I mean, it's at home, I don't want to be called Nugget, but elsewhere it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that. It does kind of feel sometimes like you or Cameo, or it feels weird calling you all that outside of, you know what I mean? The show or whatever.
Well, sometimes a family member will be like, "This is my nephew. He's Nugget." And that feels weird, but it's whatever. It's the same, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I should have asked you how you would like to be billed on your podcast here. You're one half of the stars here of the podcast.
Thunderlips.
Thunderlips from now on. That'll be it. Or TL for short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. It's funny though, when I was B-Rad, when I was going by my grown-up name, Brad Reed, on the cat and stuff like that, I really kind of got to where I didn't want to be called B-Rad anymore. I'm a grown-up man now. Don't call me B-Rad.
Yeah, because that's from Malibu's Most Wanted, right?
Well, it is, but I had that name before that because my buddy out in Choctaw, he used to kind of shorten people's names like that. And so we had a friend named Jared that he called J-Rod, and so he started calling me B-Rad. And then when I went to broadcasting school, I wasn't really going to go by B-Rad, but some of my friends at the school came over to a party there in Choctaw, and they heard everybody calling me that. And so then it just stuck, and then it stuck up at the radio station too. So it was all right, there it is. But I mean, it always makes me feel good when people remember, B-Rad and all of that.
Yeah, you could have got you could be turd or something, or
yeah,
or taint.
Yeah, so
this is our stunt boy Taint.
Yeah,
he's gonna go throw eggs at somebody.
But that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to be a stunt boy. I wanted to be a stunt man. So.
Yeah. Well, I got it from being a stunt boy. I was Nugget the stunt boy.
Well, because the morning shows kind of have a tradition of naming people after foods.
Yeah.
Is that everywhere or just around here? Do you ever listen to radio everywhere else?
I know how I got mine.
Yeah.
Which was Heather was at a party and she saw a dirty magazine called Nugget.
Really? I remember this.
She said that would be a great stunt boy name, and then.
Oh, okay. So y'all weren't at the party, and she was like, "Oh, that's your name." She just stored it away and was like, "When the perfect stunt boy comes along."
I wish I could go back 21 years when I started. Well, this would have been 20 years ago when the voicemail she left me. I was at O Trip, and I was teaching audio production. And she called me and was like, "Hey, we want you to be on the show. We're going to call you Nugget." And it's on a voicemail. And I don't know what I did with it. I saved it for the longest time.
So how did they know you at that point? Because were you doing other stuff around the station, or how did you get into radio? I never even asked you that.
I did a tour with our boy Randy Heights. And, dropped a name to everybody, gave my number to everybody. Don Sweeney.
Yeah.
Bake, all of them. I just bothered them until they're like, dude, here's a job. Leave us alone.
It worked well. It worked out well.
So yeah, I've been on the morning show for 20 years now. I think we have a clip. When you want to run it?
Yeah. Oh, that was good.
That was great. That was a great memory from the show.
Yeah. Someday we got to dust off some of my appearances on the show.
Yeah. PX.
Yeah. Procrastinator X, which actually, that's like my editing name because I wait a few days before I get like motivated to start editing after I've recorded something. But
can I just say what PX was?
Yeah.
So PX was this rapper we would have on the show. Brad played the rapper PX, and he would get in the studio and he would never actually rap.
No. It was like
he was called Procrastinator X.
Yeah.
So I would be in the studio with him, and it'd be a live recording of me, like dropping the beat, and he'd never get to the actual rhyme.
Yeah. Cause the joke was like all the, like, when the songs start and the rapper's like, yeah, give me that beat, and just, keep saying all this stuff, but doesn't ever give you, any rap.
Yeah. Give me more drums.
Yeah.
Give me more beat.
Yeah.
More bass, more treble.
Ooh, I pooted. I got to run to the bathroom, stuff like that. So
he would always end up with like accidentally messing himself.
Yeah. Yeah. PX. But I think people like that bit. So, yeah. Well, I don't even know. My bad. The worst thing I ever did was I don't really keep any of my audio.
Yeah.
So then like people were like, you should put together some kind of, portfolio. I'm like, ugh, I'll just record something new.
Yeah, right.
So, but yeah, hey, so yeah, that's kind of our personal horror stories. Not really. I think radio so far has been like, I got out of it, but it was a good experience. Like so many shows and people that I knew and just lots of cool stuff. So I wouldn't have traded that. I would.
When you worked there,
you
worked there were probably 300 people working there, right?
Yeah.
200.
Yeah,
now there's like 12.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The glory days that was the thing. Like we got in at the end of the glory days. Cause one of the guys on the Cat, he used to tell me these stories about like, back in the day we had a cabinet and it was filled with every drug you ever wanted. And I was like, really? Cause now all we got is Pepsi.
Yeah. It's not even Coke.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Cisco. But actually, thank you, Cisco, because they used to, he had a deal with Pepsi, and so they would put all the drinks in all the studios. And it would get annoying because you'd be on the air and somebody'd be like, let me just sneak you on in and get a drink.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that on the air light was on, right?
And the worst thing is like they try and small talk you, and you're just like, just get your Pepsi and get out of here.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to chat. Let's not do this. Let's not pretend like you're interested in what I'm doing. Just get your Pepsi and get out.
Right. Or you definitely have like the salespeople who like to creep in, like when you've got an interview or food. Mm-hmm. They love to creep in, which it seems like that's just something that happened at that radio station, but no, I've worked at a few. Salespeople everywhere. They love the freebies.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into our horror pod, Conformist Peach Cobbler, which you can find on patreon.com/dopepods, along with the Nerdz to Men podcast. You get all those pods on that site for $1 a month. And then, the rub is that you don't have to listen to all the ads that pop up if you're listening like on Spotify or Apple. All those are great places to listen. But if you go to patreon.com/dopepods, you can avoid all of that. So that's kind of where I like. Plus, we'll do some stuff like T-shirts and maybe like we might get some people to join in on. I don't know that I want people like talking during the podcast, but they can kind of zoom in with us and observe us do the whole thing. And they get to see like me, looking to make sure I started recording 50 times a show because I didn't last week.
Messing with your toys.
Yeah. I do like to play with the toys. So, oh God. You scared me. I used to have one of those. Those little dolls. Let me make a
suit of your hairy skin.
Those are creepy. Which later on, we've got like a list of creepiest kids, right, in the movies. Or are they just creepy kids in general? Like, my kid or, like, I don't know. I think
there's nothing. I don't know. Okay, so I know we're not getting into the movies, but so I was thinking about this from this list, just from reading this list. Kids are on their own, or like when they're young, are so creepy.
Oh,
yeah. If they like come into your room in the middle of the night, you're in a dead sleep, and they're just standing there.
Yeah. Yeah. Like sleepwalking.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Yeah, for sure. I had a sleepwalker. Yeah, I'd always find them in weird places, and they do, like, they're standing in front of the fridge, like all zoned out. Like, are you possessed or what is going on? So. Yeah, but we'll get to that. I mean, my kids are creepy. Look who raised them, so they're automatically on the list. Hey.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, my kids, they'll tell you, like, one of them hates horror movies. And you're like, oh, man, why? It's because, like, I tried to, pass it on to him, but I'd also do stuff like, pop in his room with a mask on and, wake him up. So he didn't like that.
Yeah, you traumatized him.
I know. I didn't mean to, but anyway. Before we get to some of the movies and stuff that we're going to talk about, I want to talk about American Horror Story, the TV show. It's been like the regular one's been on how many years? Do you know off the top of your head, or
8 or 9?
Yeah, it's been on a long time. So, this new one that is on, I say new, it doesn't seem like all that different because it's got the same theme song and all that. But it's called American Horror Stories. And so the biggest difference is going to be like, if you're like, hey, I don't really love this season. Okay, that's cool because, I don't know if it's every 2 episodes or if just the first 2 were the only ones that were tied in. Because I know the 3rd episode, I haven't seen it yet, so we won't go into the 3rd episode, but it's not tied to the first 2, is it? Okay.
No. I'll go ahead and say, I know you didn't see the 3rd one, but it could be its own movie.
Oh, yeah. So that's what somebody was asking me earlier. Are they all movie length?
No, they're an hour.
Oh, are they? Okay. Because my buddy Provo was like, yeah, I heard about that. And I thought that they were all movie length. I was like, I can't remember because the first 2 episodes, that could have been a movie. It was long. It was kind of long, but not like in a bad way. You know what I mean? And so we'll kind of get into the first 2 episodes here. The reason that I really enjoyed these first 2 episodes is because it goes back to the house from the first season. And the murder house. Yeah, in my mind, that's still the best season. I don't know how you felt about it. I think, we discussed it a couple shows back. Would you still say that that's the best?
Yeah, I would say that in Coven.
Yeah.
And those 2 are my favorite. And probably the circus one was pretty good too.
Mm-hmm. Well, the first 2 episodes harken back to that one, but they kind of do some role reversals here, and like the first and second episode is called Rubber Whoa Man, Whoa,
Whoa Man,
yeah,
Whoa Man. Yeah. So I made an axe murder.
Yeah, but that's how they have it. Like the whoa is in parentheses there, so. And so you can kind of imagine what takes place. She's got the rubber suit, and like I said, it's a female this time instead of a male. But the story is, it's not like a lot different than that first season, but it's compacted into these 2 and takes place with a different family. Yeah. I really found it to be super entertaining. I enjoyed those 2 episodes. What was your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, it was nostalgic as far as returning to the first house. A couple of cool things. The lead with the short red hair.
Yeah,
she is the star of our friend Craig the Movie Guy's movie Vast of Night.
Oh, is she? Is that Sierra McCormick? I think was her name. Yeah, Sierra McCormick. Oh, I did not know that.
And then that's Cindy Crawford's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
the ghost in the house.
Oh, really? Oh, duh. She looks just like her.
Right?
Yeah. That hot. Yeah.
And then also Paris Jackson is in it.
Michael Jackson's daughter. And I read somewhere that Macaulay Culkin was helping her brush up on her acting for this show, which I thought
she wasn't bad at all.
No, she wasn't. Definitely probably the best Paris in a horror thing.
Although Paris Hilton's death in House of Wax is pretty awesome.
Yeah, the death was.
I think I was in the theater. People cheered.
Yeah. I think. See, I everyone that I saw during the movie, or the radio days when we went to all those, I always think that we saw them together. So I can't remember if we did or didn't. But no, I tease. Paris Hilton actually wasn't too terrible in that. But yeah. We all wanted her to die for sure. But yeah, so the blonde guy in this show, he had the bleached hair. Was that to look like the guy from the first season? Because didn't he have bleached blonde hair too?
Oh, Evan Peters' character?
Yeah. Was it Evan Peters? No. I mean the Zachary Quinto's, was it?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't catch that.
Oh, okay. It just kind of reminded me of it, so I thought, well, maybe they were just kind of doing it as a wink, like to try to bring back all these elements from that first season. So, but so correct me if I'm wrong here, because you've seen some of the others. I just saw a thing that said that Danny Trejo has joined the cast. Now, is that for something that has already happened, or is that for this stories?
I don't remember him in any of the other seasons, so I guess it has to be this one.
So that's cool. That's cool. I'm pulling up the series cast right now. See if anything pops out other than, yeah. So like, there's a lot of names that I wouldn't recognize, but yeah, that would be cool to see Danny Trejo in this.
In this third episode, Adrian Barbeau makes an appearance.
Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, Creep Show. You know her. She's been around for a minute.
Yeah. What was the name of this third episode? Because I saw the title and I was like, ooh, that one looks good too.
It's basically I think it's, I don't know what it's called, but the movie they watch is called Rabbit Rabbit. Was that the name of it?
Oh, maybe. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but all I'll say is that so far, the first two episodes, American Horror Stories, have been really good, and I have enjoyed them. So,
did you get on your GIMP outfit to watch it, or?
No, but I made my stepson put on his.
Weird.
The only reason I said that, he's 22, was the other day he came in while we were watching it, and he's like, "Who's the GIMP?" I was like, "You're the GIMP from Pulp Fiction. Remember? We keep you in the basement." So that's why. And thank you for letting me explain that, because that could have been. I should have just no explanation. Let people be horrified. So can I tell you? We're gonna segue here. That American Horror Story, the first two episodes, really reminded me of it had all the American Horror Story elements to it, but it could have been one of those Fear Street stories, with the teenage stuff and like the stuff that happened. And it really reminded me of those. Did it remind you, or now that I'm mentioning it, does it kind of?
Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, a little bit, as far as, no name actors and not the best actors.
Yeah. And then the teenage drama.
Cheesy dialogue, oversexed, all that stuff. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, and
there's also, the lead couple in both of them are gay, so that's kind of a right similar.
Yeah, it definitely. So, AHS almost seemed like Fear Street, but just way more hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go into Fear Street. There was two, because we talked about the first one, which was like 1994, I believe. Or it took place in the 90s, and I enjoyed that one. We talked about how it kind of reminded us of Scream, and I told you, like, when we were kind of predicting what would happen, like, just going by the Fear Street stuff, you got to pay attention to like that character that's over. They've introduced that character, but they're not playing a big role, because, you know, that's going to come back later. Which, of course, is not just exclusive to Fear Street, but that's the formula. You know what I mean?
And you were right. You nailed it.
Yeah. So 1978, that one is where they go back to camp. And so they had gone to a lady from the first movie to try to ask her, like, how were you involved with this? How can we stop this witch that's cursing, you know, everybody and has taken this one chick's girlfriend, right?
Played by Gillian Jacobs.
Mm-hmm. And so
from Community.
So they go back and they show her, you know, what happened with her and her sister, where they were, you know, the same kind of thing was going down, but it was at camp. Now, I'm pretty sure I read that they did film that at one of the Friday the 13th sites.
Part 6, yeah.
Which I thought was pretty dope.
Jason Lives, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Which one? So what was the plot of Jason Lives?
Basically, people go to camp and Jason kills them.
Oh, okay, great. Perfect. Perfect. Different, way different than the first 5. I mean, veers, you know, right off the highway there, but
I didn't see it coming.
No. You know, because the first 5, he went to space, right? Was it? Anyway,
he was in the hood.
God.
But you know, you say like the Jason they did it at the camp where they shot Jason 6. The lead character, one of the lead characters' name is Tommy, which is a lead character from the Friday series.
Was that the Corey Feldman?
Yeah.
Was he Tommy? Okay. I've seen all those, but it's been a while on the Jason movies. It's been a while.
I'll watch them if they're on. I don't pop them in maybe around Halloween I'll put them on.
I need to go back and just revisit all those classics, the Jasons, the Freddys. The one that I watched the most was the Michael Myers, all those. So I'm more familiar.
Did you notice also they were talking about a book, a Stephen King book, which happened to be The Shining.
Oh, was that
which
the one?
happened to be, yeah, and then he had the axe chopped down the door, kind of.
Yeah, that's what I like about these. There's like callbacks to other movies, and you know, where like we said before, where they're paying homage. You know, like the Scream, it wasn't exactly like that, but these things have been done as a tribute, not just like copying. I don't think. But
and also another badass soundtrack.
Yeah, I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the soundtracks. Maybe not in the next one, but definitely in the first two.
Yeah, not in the Witch one, but like Blue Oyster Cult and Lou Reed and Foghat and Joan Jett. Some awesome music in this one.
Nice to hear my uncle in there, Lou Reed.
Yeah. Is he?
No.
Okay.
But that is the only claim to fame I have. I tell everybody. Lou Reed was my uncle. And they're like,
he's your weird uncle, right?
Yeah. Who is Lou Reed? But no, so yeah, the 78 was cool in that way, but they started kind of predicting to me like what was gonna, like who was behind all this.
Who the big bad was?
Yeah. And you know, we'll say spoilers right now, so if anybody's made it so far. But yeah, so they started, you know, kind of casting, like I feel like in that movie, like they started putting some doubt on the sheriff. I felt like they kept not like overtly, but just they were putting it in there like, okay, this guy's got something to do with it. Because like the kid was the younger version of the sheriff from the first movie, and he kind of seemed off in the first movie too. So that's why I was like, maybe that's the guy. So, but see, so I like the first 2 movies and great. Oh my God. So again, in the second movie, the 1978, there's a bunch of the teen drama stuff. Like you said, some, you know, oversexed scenes, all that. But if you wait through that, you get great kill scenes, you know? It was so gruesome.
Yeah. With an axe too, just brutal.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And that to me is what like really kind of sets these movies apart from just something that was kind of like, that was all right.
Yeah. It's fun. They're fun to watch.
They are fun. But see, at the end of 78, then they kind of Army of Darkness their way back in time, and that's where I was kind of like, all right, I knew it was going to
You mean like how the characters from from 94 were in 66 as Puritan types.
Right. It was okay. And then really that 1666 was only like, was it maybe half or 3/4 of the movie, because it goes back to current day and then wraps up the whole story.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was about half, I think, maybe not even that, maybe a third.
Mm-hmm. So we didn't have to spend too much time in that world. And I just didn't love that. I just didn't love that whole 1666 part. It
was very like The Witch or Crucible or Apostle. Kind of.
But done without as much care, which is fine.
And what kind of soundtrack are you going to have to that?
Yeah. But these movies are fun, and I don't think you should expect them to be like, I don't know, some kind of groundbreaking horror movie at all. And so if you kind of go into it like that, then I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. They are a lot of fun, right? I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I did too. And hopefully, I would imagine, since Fear Street, I mentioned this earlier in the first episode that we did where we talked about the first one, that I wasn't sure that R.L. Stine was like directly associated. Like, I don't think he wrote any of this, but he definitely did. They had the book, and then I noticed in the second episode, and I'm sure it was in the first, where it said, based on the books by R.L. Stine. So I would think, since, there's tons of Fear Street out there, like this could be another thing where maybe 6 months or a year we get another 3 movies or whatnot.
Yeah. I had a question for you. How are you going to build a shopping mall on top of a devil worshiping area, ritual place?
I know.
You put the Sbarro over there by the pentagram.
Yeah.
You put the Orange Julius over there by the ritual slab. It's like, how are they going to build all that?
Yeah, that was, stupid. But you got to have a mall if you're going to, have something set in the 90s, right? So that's what I'm saying. They kind of shoehorned a few things in for sure. Like where I say they didn't have the care that they would have put into some of these other movies. But, they're banging off 3 movies real quick and just trying to be, tie it all together. So I didn't... There's a lot of things that we could probably go back and be like, that was dumb. But I did notice, like, the whole town is supposedly cursed anyway,
The shady side and the shady Vale. No, sunny side, shady Vale.
I think it was shady side.
Sunnyvale, shady side.
Yeah. There you go. So that's my reviews on those 2. I thought that they were good and they were fun. And if you're expecting much more than that, you might be disappointed. Yeah.
They're fun to watch.
Yeah.
They're a nice throwaway horror movie.
Yeah. It's important because
some decent kills.
Right. So we got a few movies that have been announced that we wanted to kind of go over and talk about real quick. Let's start with a prequel here to a movie so I'm assuming that this Pet Sematary prequel is a prequel to the remake that just came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
John Lithgow was in that one.
Yeah, he played the Herman Munster's character.
Which I love.
Don't go down there. Don't you go down there.
Yeah.
That's where the spirits are down there. That's terrible.
I love John Lithgow though. We've talked about that. So that, I really enjoyed it. The Pet Sematary, though, like, I thought it had a little more potential that they didn't live up to. But I did enjoy it, and I did enjoy the end.
Did you like how they made Gage into a little girl? Or I thought Gage in the first one was scary.
Oh, my God. Totally
Speaking of creepy kids.
Yeah. Is he on the list? We'll get to it later.
He's not on this list.
Oh, that list is bunk.
Yeah, it's booty.
So, but yeah, I didn't mind that. But like I say, I just kind of liked how they changed. I did like the change of the ending. Can't remember if that was more in line with this, like the Stephen King book, or if they just did it because, how else are you going to do something different? Because the original Pet Sematary movie was so good. So
What about Pet Cemetery 2? My boy Eddie Furlong.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember too much from that one. But I'm assuming that it wasn't as good as the first one.
I got a chance to, I saw Edward Furlong at HorrorCon, which is coming up this weekend, but this was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
At the fairgrounds. And no lie, he was at his signing table with his head down.
Oh my gosh.
Like nobody was talking to him. I felt so bad for him. Like this dude, T2, he was the biggest star.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, isn't it weird? So like, you know, if we go back to T2, the year that came out, me and you were probably like young teenagers or just right about to be teenagers. You would have thought, and I would have thought that Edward Furlong was going to have it made for the rest of his life.
He should be DiCaprio right now.
Right. And then, you know, it's weird how these things turn out, you know, so.
You know how they turn out.
Yeah. All he can hope for now is that Tarantino will put him in a movie and, you know, revive his career.
Exactly. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah. But it was funny. That reminds me of when me and Cameo went to go see, like we went to one of those Fan Expo Dallases and Rob Schneider was there. And like the lady that wore the Chewbacca mask that laughed, and it was like her video of her just laughing hysterically in the Chewbacca mask. She was right next to Rob Schneider, right? And they're, you know, for their little tables that they sign autographs and you have to pay or whatever. Her line was like out the door and nobody was talking to Rob Schneider. Nobody.
I feel so bad. I just want to go talk to it. Like,
yeah.
That's the worst.
But Furlong, I would have liked to have met him. That would be cool. Either way. Well, has he done anything lately?
He did was it Demon Knight, the remake?
Oh yeah.
He's been in some sequels, but not really.
Yeah.
Well, I always feel like when I go to these cons and I see the star that was once big and there's nobody talking to him, and meanwhile, like Ray Park has a line out the door, I'm just like, oh, that's
yeah. Well,
so bad.
Man, I feel like the last really great Furlong movie though was American History X.
Yes, that was a good one.
I can't think of after that, like, you know, I know he's been in stuff, but I can't think of what would have been like, you know, that good. So, which that movie is almost a horror movie on its own.
Right.
First time I've ever seen anybody get curb checked.
Oh man, that scene.
Oh, terrible. Horrible.
Oh, big, just real quick. Rob Schneider, big anti-vaxxer.
Oh, well, that's why nobody wanted to go around him.
Who would have thought, you know?
Yeah. But of course this was definitely long before that, but yeah, you know, it's just cause like, if you like, we went to his panel and Rob Schneider just has like a weird attitude, you know, it's like, dude, you're not as famous as Adam Sandler.
It's like Chris Kattan and you.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rob Schneider
and Adam Sandler, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you and me, like, you know, you're the Adam Sandler and I'm definitely the Rob Schneider.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
I'm on the slope of my regional famousness and you're still, you know, at the top. So we'll leave it at that. But the Pet Cemetery prequel, what do you predict for that? I'm guessing it's going to show us why those grounds are, you know, not haunted, right? But
yeah,
how did he put it? You know, cursed, I guess.
I don't know if they'll go all the way back to. I don't, because the remake wasn't. It was still an Indian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
ground,
so.
Or was it?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'll go back that far, but it might show, like, you know, maybe the people who built the house or the houses around it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that'll be cool. I'd be interested to see if Stephen King had any say, you know, or kind of direction for how the sequel should go. Because I don't believe he ever wrote a sequel or a prequel or either to Pet Cemetery.
I don't know.
But I mean, I'm going to be excited. Did we have a release date on that one yet? Or has it just been announced?
It's just casting right now.
Mm-hmm. I had heard when that movie came out, like not too long, that they were thinking about a prequel. So I'm glad that it's actually going to happen.
Maybe it'll be the John Lithgow character, young.
That's what I was wondering, but then that would preclude him from being in it, so that would kind of suck. But yeah, I'd like to see it. All right, so I guess we got a release date though for Scream 5. That one,
Yes,
that one's coming out.
Scream 5 is January 14th.
Ooh, that's not too far. 2022.
I know.
And so with that one, I guess HBO Max is only doing their same day movie and theater releases, or at home and theater releases through the end of the year, right? Or
yeah, I think there's some exceptions though. Mm-hmm. Like they're making movies right now that say just HBO Max.
Oh, well, hopefully I either way, but I'd like to see, since it's January and not, it'll probably be snowy outside. I'd like to see this. Well,
I think it's a way to continue to compete with Netflix, is like they can release these theatrical movies that they make, but then also release these lower tier streaming movies,
Right. Do you think Scream 5 is going to be lower tier?
I think that's a theater release.
I hope. Courtney Cox and David Arquette, aren't they back for this one?
Everybody's back.
Nev Campbell's
back.
Sweet. Yep. Sweet. Rose McGowan?
No. I heard Jamie Foxx and Matthew Lillard are back though.
Oh man, Matthew Lillard. Did he actually die in the movie? Like, did he die?
Yeah.
We saw him die. Like, he can never come back.
Yeah, you remember? Dude, stab me so hard, man.
Yeah, he had a great. But I'm wondering, did we see him die? Like, maybe.
Yeah, she dropped the TV on his head.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Billy, you stabbed me way too hard, man. It's too deep. That was the best.
Yeah,
I love Matthew Lillard.
I do too. I wish, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to find a way that they could bring Matthew Lillard back. Like, I feel like that was like his introduction, wasn't it?
I think so.
I can't recall, because it was that movie, and then maybe a couple years later, he was in SLC Punk, and like those were my favorite Matthew Lillard movies, other than maybe Scooby Doo. No.
Like Zoink Scoobs.
I think I saw him. He's in like a TV show or something now? Like, I think he's trying to make a comeback as like a really respected actor now.
Yeah.
So good luck.
I don't know. Him and like Sean William Scott, like I always wonder what happened to those dudes. Like they were
Stifler.
They were on a course, and then they just all of a sudden you don't see them anymore.
Yeah. Like Matthew Lillard, like in all his movies, he really just kind of like made faces throughout the movie, like mugged for the camera, as they say. And so I think that kind of, that got old after a little while. And then they quit making all those teenage kind of movies. So he had to grow up at some point. But so Scream 5, the only reason I'm interested at this point is because everybody's back.
Yeah.
Because I don't honestly know if I saw Scream 4.
Oh, don't worry. Don't even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was not good.
Like Scream 1, and then I liked Scream 2 because Scream 2, if you watch, like, you can pick out things that they did in both movies that were paying tribute to, other movies, like Psycho 2, different things that you'll see. And so
in a great cast, Laurie Metcalf and was it Timothy Olyphant?
Was he in that one? I got to go back to HBO Max and rewatch because I watched all those, but it's been a while. But they're all available on HBO Max, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, and then the third one, I remember that one. Wasn't that one where like they were making the movie about the movie?
Yeah,
I hated that.
And it brought the whole Star Wars big twist at the end where it was. Yeah, you remember that one?
Yeah.
It was.
I hated
it. Sydney's brother.
Oh, was it?
Brother.
Yeah. I didn't enjoy that one. I thought they were tried to get too cute on that one. In fact, remember the Freddy Krueger where they're making the movie about it, and then that one to me blew my mind. Like, ooh, that was meta. That was great.
Yeah, New Nightmare, the New Nightmare, yeah.
Yeah. But if you're trying to do something like that after that, you're just going to get compared to that, because I thought it worked on that one. Of course, this was teenage me that saw that one, but I didn't really enjoy the Scream 3. So did you like that one too? The third one?
Yeah, it was okay. And then Scream 4 is just more of the same. It's like, I won't say it's been out for like a long time now, but there's a twist at the end who the killer is. But they're due for a big lead character to die, right?
They if they want to surprise us, because that's what I'm saying. Like, when they stick to these formulas, even like the Fear Street, where like, it's not, there's something paranormal going on, but then there's somebody, because people are the real monsters, right? Who's doing it. And so like you kind of expect it then.
Yeah.
And so
they're due to kill off Dewey or Courtney Cox's character sooner.
Courtney Cox.
Sooner or later,
I
right?
pick her to die.
You think so?
I mean, that's who I would like to see get moited. Not Courtney Cox, but her character.
Yeah.
Because Dewey would be funny though if he did. Because we've thought he died before, right?
He's died like every movie.
That's what I'm saying. Just bring back Matthew Lillard then.
Right.
So,
but yeah, his head smushed in or something.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so another movie they announced, a sequel to Don't Breathe, which came out, what was that, like a year or two ago?
Oh, I would go back further than that, right?
Oh, was it?
At least, yeah, like 5 years ago.
Man, so that one was a movie that I just, I'll be honest, I watched that like the night before last, because you had told me that one was coming out, and I was like, man, I see that one all the time on like Netflix or one of those, and I just never have watched it. So I went ahead and I watched that one, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked it because, again, that was kind of the one where there's nothing paranormal going on, and this guy in it is so scary because that could be any dude that lives next door to you that believes that his cause is just. And so when, you have somebody who's that convinced that they're doing the right thing and it's so horrible, that makes it that much more scary. Because, at some points during the movie, you might think, oh, well, they broke into his house. Like, this is what they deserve. But then you start seeing, well, no, there's a lot more to it. And, like, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen the first movie, either go watch it or you're just going to get spoiled here. Like, he has tried to replace his daughter who had been killed.
Yeah.
And the way that he had worked it out in his mind that it would be okay is if he kidnaps the lady who had killed his daughter. And then he's going to impregnate her. Well, he had impregnated her, right? And but he was keeping her held hostage and told her she could be free once she has his baby. And so there's a scene where he's going to do the same to this other lady. And he's like, I'm not a rapist. And he pulls out like that turkey baster. And you're like, yeah, but you are still a rapist. I mean,
technically you are.
Yeah. So even with the turkey baster, bro, that is rape. So,
well, that comes around full circle with he gets a dose of his own medicine.
Dude, that was one of the grossest things I've seen in a movie in recent times.
Abby had it coming,
Well, yeah, I mean,
pun intended.
But oh my God, that scene was so gross. So gross. Yeah. And it was simple. It was a simple scene, like no special effects, but that more so than any other movie in a long time. I was like, ooh, I wish I.
But I just like that. Even some of the stuff like Fede Alvarez does. He's the director. He does that, like the slow motion when he shoots the first robber in the head.
Yeah.
In the slow motion. That's like so cool to me. That was one of the coolest scenes in the movie.
Yeah. It was a really underrated movie, in my opinion, because I hadn't heard like how great it was, to be honest. And it wasn't great, but it was different. and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So,
And he's back. The blind man is back. And now he has a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. He has a kid.
Well, they don't really say in the trailer. He has a kid in his at his home.
Because yeah, at the end of the movie, I don't think it's that ambiguous. He lived through it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they showed him on the news, and she's watching it on the news with her child. And at first I was like, oh, did she have a kid? Like, did he actually? But that was like the day of or the day after, because they were showing the news like it had just happened. So, all right, we got another reboot on the way. This one, a classic movie that I just don't know if they should even try to do it. The Exorcist.
Oh yes, The Exorcist.
This, because again, this isn't a sequel. This has been labeled a reboot. So is it going to be the same, pretty much the same story with new actors and actresses? Is this what you've heard?
This is a sequel.
Oh, it is a sequel.
The people who did the new Halloween, they are making a sequel to the original. I guess the original Exorcist. I don't know if they're going to count the other four.
Blumhouse? I'm not even sure how you say that. Blumhouse?
Yes, it is Blumhouse. It's Blumhouse, yeah.
So like when they do, I usually trust them. So if they make a movie, I want to see it.
Yeah, it's the people who did the Halloween remake. So there's no Linda Blair was still alive at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's going to be any, anything with her in there.
Well, like I told you before, exorcism movies, I don't love them, and I think they get a little bit redundant. But I don't know if it was just because it was off limits, but I was never allowed to watch exorcism. Like I was allowed to watch all kinds of horror movies, but I never got to watch exorcism, and I didn't even watch it till about 5 years ago for the first time ever. And when I watched it, I was like, this movie is great. I mean, it's a great movie. And not even nearly as, there's some sacrilege stuff if you're a religious type person. Yeah. Definitely that happens in this movie. I could see why my mom was like, nah.
There's a scene with a crucifix.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't vibrate, so we'll just leave it at that. But it was a great movie. I've never seen the sequels to it, to be honest. So I'm not sure, did the other movies revolve around her still? Reagan, was that her name?
I think Exorcist 2 maybe. It's been so long since I've seen him. The Exorcist 2 was 1977. Exorcist 3 was 1990.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a huge 13-year gap there. And then they did a prequel, and then there's two prequels, Exorcist the Beginning and Dominion.
Yeah. I did see one of those. I can't remember it that much, but I do remember seeing those. So,
but there's some movies that we just need to leave alone.
Exactly. And here's the deal: if you are being exorcised for the 6th time, that's a shitty exorcist. You need to call somebody else.
Maybe it's you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's you.
Right. Yeah. I'd get a second opinion or something. I don't know. Check
the Yelp rating. Go onto Google and just see, is this Exorcist good? Read the reviews.
Right. So, well, like I say, I'll watch it, I guess, because it's Blumhouse, but I don't know. That one doesn't do much for me, even though, like I said, I did love the first one. So, all right. So actually, you have a list. You have a list for us.
Yeah. Real quick, Evil Dead 5, Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I left
that's coming out. That's the 5th Evil Dead movie. That's going to come out in 2022 or 23.
And so they rebooted that one, which I thought was great because it was where the first two were kind of funny and cheesy. This one was like a brutal, heavy metal version of Evil Dead, and I liked it.
And that's Fede Alvarez too, I think.
Oh,
I'm pretty
really?
Sure.
And so, so this is a sequel to Army of Darkness?
This is a sequel to the reboot.
Oh, the reboot. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is going to be on HBO Max exclusively.
Okay. I'm going to watch
Well,
it.
maybe probably theaters too, but you know.
So no Bruce Campbell.
He's talking about it. He's been saying that he's aware of it and like, you know, during production and stuff.
How would it, I mean, of course I want to see Bruce Campbell, but how would it work with him, like with the tone of that reboot? You know what I mean? Because
what did you watch the end credit scene of the reboot?
I feel like I did, but now remind me.
Bruce Campbell was in it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. Well, but they're going to have to have like, it's going to have some kind of comedy to it in this one, right? If he's in it.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, he's just a funny dude. Did you ever see My Name is Bruce? Have I asked you this?
I did. I don't remember it though.
My Name is Bruce. The kids basically summon a demon and they go, they find out that Bruce Campbell, the real Bruce Campbell, is living in their town. So they go to him to help him fight the demon, you know, and it's like a fictional version of Bruce Campbell. So he's like, nah, man. And like, he's all drunk and, you know, he doesn't want to help him. And it's great. I loved it.
Like Three Amigos almost.
Yeah, I did. That was one of my favorite, other than the Evil Dead movies, one of my favorite Bruce Campbell movies. My Name is Bruce. But, so if he's in it, that's cool. That's cool. But that's weird though, because wouldn't that retcon Army of Darkness?
I don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh, well.
I mean, it could be the reboot. I don't know, could go directly with the first two, or the first two are basically the same movie.
Yeah, they are. The first two, I felt like after the first one, they were like, oh man, people responded so well to this, but they you know, thought it was hilarious. And that's not, I don't necessarily think that's what they were going for in the first one. But it was just, you know, due to the effects and, you know, whatever. It was funny, but it was scary. It was both. And so then the second movie, I think they hammed it up a little more, but that's what I loved about it. And then Army of Darkness, another great movie. So yeah, I mean, I'll trust them. And I'll see that one too. But I would love for Ash to be in it. And I like the tone of that reboot. I did. You know, like I said, it's like the more of the heavy metal version.
Like the raining blood, and she fights that weird demonic version of herself with the long limbs and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I really did too. I thought that was cool too. All right, so you got your list handy?
I do. It is a list of the creepiest kids from horror movies,
which I'm excited about. But we've already determined that kid from Pet Sematary isn't on here. Let me ask you one more. That would, if it would have been on my list faux show, but I'm worried it might not.
Okay.
The vampire kid from Salem's Lot.
He's not on here.
You know that scene where he's scratching on the window trying to get his brother to let him in? Oh my God. That terrified me as a kid. I loved it, but it terrified me. Okay, right, so this list, let's hear it.
It's from The Wrap. And number 10, they have Charlie from Hereditary.
Okay, which is that the daughter?
That's the girl, yeah. Oh, who's only in half of the movie.
I love that.
But
okay, that's a good one because A, yeah, she was creepy, and B, what happened to her was creepy. Like, that was like, when I saw that, I was like, did I just see that? No, I didn't just see that. No, I didn't.
It was so unexpected, and you're just like...
And then what happens even after? Like how... Oh, my God. I got to watch that one again. Okay, that's a good one. I like that one.
At number 9, they have Rhoda from The Bad Seed.
Oh, okay. The black and white movie. Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't... It's been so long since I've seen that one.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it a long time ago. Good movie. So,
yeah.
Okay.
At number 8, they have Adrian from Rosemary's Baby, which is a dumb entry because you don't even see the baby in Rosemary's Baby.
Right. No, I don't like that one. But, you know, I will say, this is a little rabbit hole for a second. read the book Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino. And I loved it because it's, you know, it adds on to that whole movie, and it's awesome. But like, there's a chapter or something about kind of like Roman Polanski and his whole approach to Rosemary's Baby, because in the book it's Satanists, but Roman Polanski's an atheist, and he didn't want to do a movie that, like, because, you know, if you believe in Satan, I guess, then you would have to say that God is real, and he didn't want to do that. So he wanted to make it ambiguous, you know, like, are these Satanists or are they just, you know, nuts? And but that movie was a really good movie. I don't like that entry. That'd be like putting the baby from False Positive in there.
Yeah. It doesn't work. It's just a little sweet baby, all, you know, nursing.
Yeah.
Little tiny little baby.
Now, a creepier baby would have been the one from Army of Dead.
Oh, yeah.
The zombie
or
baby.
from Dawn of the Dead remake. Yeah, that
Yes.
baby is pretty creepy, too.
Oh, is that baby not on here?
No.
Oh, come on.
I have some of my own, too. But at number 7, they have, I mean, obvious entry, Isaac from Children of the Corn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All my kids are named, like, I'll tell you the kids' name, Gideon, Jonah, and Noah. And, like, so every time we introduce them to people, they're like, oh, well, you named your kids after Children of the Corn. And I'm like, well, I wasn't around when they got named, or else, yes, I would have.
Yeah. I mean, he's the unofficial mayor of the town, I guess. So
yeah, Isaac's a great one.
Okay, Mercy and Jonas from The Witch. Those are they're the kids that taunt. They end up disappearing, but they're kind of creepy throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know. They don't stick out to me as like being that creepy that I would have put them on my list.
At number 5, Esther from The Orphan, which is a weird entry also because technically she's not a kid, and it's kind of, I don't know if it fits.
Yeah. Because we've mentioned
it does fit in the way that when she's in her younger, when she's as a kid, she's putting the moves on what's his name? Peter Skarsgård.
Oh, okay. Well,
do you remember this movie?
I didn't see that one. The Orphan. Is it good? Should I watch it?
It's good. It's okay. So basically they adopt this girl from, I think, like Russia, and she comes over and she's kind of doing a lot of, you know, sinister things. Mm-hmm. And then turns out she's much older.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's much older, and she puts the moves on Peter Skarsgård, and it's kind of creepy, like, because she's still, you know, technically his daughter.
Right. Yeah.
To him, he's like, "You're my daughter. Stop it." And she's like, but she's actually a grown woman, so it's. Yeah, that is.
I'll check it out. I can't remember who's the name of the star. That girl, Esther. She looks familiar.
Oh.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
Nah, we'll skip past that. But yeah, see, so there's a couple of, you know, places where I think we could have put in better choices, and I think that one's.
Well, we got. Let me fly through the rest of these.
Yeah.
The Grady twins at number 4 from The Shining.
Of course.
Come play with us.
Yeah. They belong.
Samara's at number 3.
Samara.
The Ring.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
At number 2, Reagan from The Exorcist.
Yeah. She's a good pick.
And number 1 is our boy Damien.
Oh yeah. The Omen.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So I might have made I guess one of the honorable mentions I might pick was the little vampire boy from The Lost Boys. Like when he turns into the Attack of Eddie Munster, he's pretty creepy.
What about Kirsten Dunst? Would you put her on there?
Not as creepy, no. I don't think she was that creepy. I love Interview with the Vampire, but I wouldn't say that was like a scary, creepy kind of movie. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hot, like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, all that sexual tension. That was kind of nice.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's why you watch it, but, Antonio Banderas, so hot.
Yeah.
Well, which
I
is
would
funny
put-
because, you know, Antonio Banderas, like the vampire that he's playing was like in the books is like a 13-year-old, like redheaded kid.
Oh, I didn't know that at
Yeah.
all. That's
Yeah.
why would they change that?
Because Antonio Banderas is so much sexier than
Yeah,
13-year-old.
I want to be in the movie.
Yes.
Make me a vampire.
Antonio Banderas. Which thank God they did so that we could sit here and say that. But
I want to talk about Mucinex.
I am Puss in Boots. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting though, because like, yeah, he's they totally changed that character for the movie. So Chucky, I mean, he's not really a kid, but I might even make a room for him on that list, right?
Yeah. I guess his seed of Chucky was pretty creepy in a like a strange way.
Yeah. Any other kids that were creepy that stuck out to you?
I would put obviously the little kid from The Grudge.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember Yoshio. I can't remember his name, but
Right.
the ghost kid.
Yeah.
I know it's not technically horror, but Brandon from Brightburn.
Oh, well, Brightburn is kind of like a horror. I feel like they were like, let's take Superman and make a horror movie out of it. James Wan, right? Didn't he make Brightburn?
James Gunn. Yeah.
James Gunn, that's right. James Wan actually has a new a horror movie coming out pretty soon or sometime. Malignant, I believe is the name of
Malignant. Yeah. I was one of the trailers I was going to suggest.
it. Ooh. We'll get into that in a
Also,
second.
all of the kids from Sinister.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're all pretty evil. And Dalton from Insidious.
Right.
Yeah, he's the creepy kid. If you're wondering which one.
Yeah.
And then Cole, I would add Cole from The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that would be. You know, like he didn't creep me out, but you could see how that character would be creepy. Like you're hanging out with him, and he's like, "I see dead people." And you're like, "What? I'm getting out of here."
Yeah, where?
Yeah, is it me? Am I the one that's dead?
Yeah,
So-
why didn't Bruce Willis ask that?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, you can see all these dead people, but obviously I'm not the dead one, right? So it was just, Bruce Willis and his stuck-upness. He couldn't, admit that he was dead.
I hate to hear that he's hard to work with.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, Kevin Smith said that on Cop Out, he was brutal to work with. And then I've heard other stories where he's just kind of a dick.
Yeah, I remember that about Kevin Smith now that you bring it up, because he was like, this guy was my hero. Like I couldn't wait to work with him, and then he was a dick the whole time. But I think that he's reached out to Kevin Smith, according to Kevin Smith, either that or, he's like, I'm going to kill you, Kevin Smith, if you don't say that I was actually nice. So, okay, so you did want to mention a couple trailers, so I kind of jumped the gun.
That's okay.
But do you want to start with Malignant? Did you watch that trailer?
Malignant. Yeah, September 10th on HBO Max and also theaters. James Wan.
Yeah, James Wan, who did The Conjuring.
Producing it.
Yeah. Now everybody. So I was. Oh, he's producing it. Okay, so he's not directing it.
He may have helped write it. I don't know I don't think he's directing it though.
Okay. Either way, like that's the thing is I was surprised that he was going to make another horror movie because I figured he was busy making the Aquaman stuff. And so he's the producer of it. But I mean, James, I like James Wan. I trust him on horror movies, mostly. Did he produce this last Conjuring? I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
But how much is that like where he actually had hands on, or they just said, James Wan, you're a producer because you did,
Yeah, I bet it's one of those things. Hey, can we use your name?
Yeah, probably. All right. So did you said you watched this trailer?
I did. It looks good. It's
what does the movie kind of? What's the the setup?
Basically, this woman starts having like not night terrors, but bad dreams, and then they start unraveling like some sort of mystery,
Oh,
some
yes.
sort of murder that happened in her past, and
Yeah.
you don't really know what's going on, but
I
it
remember.
looks cool. It looks like it could be pretty good.
I did read that part about it. Cool. Okay, what's the next trailer?
The movie is called Demonic.
Demonic.
and it's there's a lot of movies called Demonic, but this you have to look up Demonic 2021.
Okay.
And it's basically like a sci-fi possession movie.
Ooh.
It's
Sci-fi.
where this woman's mom goes into catatonic state or coma, basically, after a killing spree. Her mom goes on a killing spree, goes into a coma, and then they have a technology where she can go into the mother's mind.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of a cool concept, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. See, that's
And
the
then,
thing. Yeah. Go ahead.
And then through that, they find out that the mom's actually possessed.
Right. Yeah. See, that's cool because, like I say, when these movies start getting redundant, I really like when they find a way to tell the story, but in a different way.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the movie The Cell with J-Lo, but the way they did it looks a lot better because it's not. You know how in The Cell it was like overly animated and
like you were on a
so
mushroom trip.
Everything was so in focus and beautiful, and like this is kind of sketchy and like Scanner Darkly looking.
Ooh,
where it's kind of like animated almost. It looks cool.
Oh, I can't wait. I'll be checking those out. Demonic 2021. Is that an American film?
I believe so.
Okay. I'll definitely check that out. All right. So everybody watch those, and I can't wait for those to come out. Now, I got to talk about this week. What is today? The 22nd, July 22nd? Yep. People may hear this. It might be tomorrow before it gets out. Hopefully, I can get it up soon. But this week, however many years ago, they released one of my favorite horror movies of all time, Devil's Rejects. And so I got to say, that was one of those movies that was so brutal that I feel bad like admitting how much I love it. But I really love it. And I remember when it came out, I lived like literally across the street from the theater.
Yeah, in those apartments. I remember that place.
Yeah. And so like when we went to go watch it, like I had my bong out ready to go. So like I was toe up from the flow up, and I only had to go like across the street to see the movie, which was great because, you know, you don't smoke, but like if I smoke and then go to a movie, drive to a movie, then I got, you know, it's going to be 45 minutes at least before I actually see the movie. So I won't be high anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On my Dabstronauts pre-rolls.
I remember this. Are we thinking of the same story?
Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily know, like, have the story, but I mean, I just remember like I was so blitzed during that movie. Like I loved it even more. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I remember the story. I can
You were
tell
there.
it.
You were there. Yeah.
It was me and my ex. We were there with you.
Yeah.
And you guys, well, I don't want to, you know, but you guys were in another place.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah.
And I was pretty much sober.
Oh.
I think. I don't really remember. I may not have been. But I was a lot more sober than you.
Yeah, for sure. Was I annoying?
And what's that?
Was I being annoying?
No.
Okay.
It was funny because there was a moment where I think I got up to get us all concession.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you remember this?
You did.
And what felt like to me was 5 minutes, me going to get like food for everybody.
Yeah.
You guys said I was gone for like 2 hours.
Yeah, we did. And I remember they had like this Coldplay video that had just come out that they were showing on the big screen. It was like one of the song about lights or something. So they had like all, and I remember sitting there like, oh, this is so cool.
But you guys came back and
I thought you were gone.
I thought you'd been arrested. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I was getting this popcorn.
I do remember that. Like it seemed forever long that you were gone. we were not able to go to the to the line to get anything. That was funny. But yeah. But I love that movie. I've seen it so many times since then, and I just wanted to throw it out there that like this is one of the anniversaries of that movie. And so I do have to recommend. I got one more recommendation here. I did go ahead. From the last time that we had done a podcast, I did watch Werewolves Within, and I highly recommend watching it. I loved it. It's got like that indie feel to it. It's got a little comedy, and then it's like I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I definitely recommend it.
It looks really funny. Was it funny?
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. Although you had mentioned like the common trope of the sheriff being a person of color and wearing like a cowboy hat and stuff like that, and they definitely delved into that. So I thought that was funny.
I mean, I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me.
No, but you're right. Like you see it now more, you know? Yeah. Now that you've pointed it out, like I'm seeing it everywhere. I think it's hilarious. And then the other movie that I am going to endeavor to watch before our next podcast, The Forever Purge. Because it's now, although this worries me, it's now on Amazon. You still have to rent it, so it's like $19. But I'll probably rent it and then give you the code so that we can get our money's worth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get that. Yeah, please do. I'll check it out, but I'm not paying for it.
Right. Yeah. Because that's the thing. Like, it's already on to the streaming. My dogs are barking, so hopefully nobody can hear it. But you know, we're dog and cat friendly here on the show. So, but yeah. So, but I haven't heard anybody, just like that Spiral movie. I haven't heard anybody say, "Oh, it's great. You should watch it." Nor have I heard anybody say it sucks. Don't watch it. I'm just not holding out much hope.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the sequels weren't amazing. They were fine, but again, they become action movies now. True.
You're right about that. And there is a movie that's coming out as we're recording this on Thursday. Tomorrow, Old comes out. M. Night Shyamalan. And, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have to go see it. I guess that's only in theaters, correct?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's only theaters.
Which sucks because like didn't he had a series that was on Apple TV. I haven't got to watch it yet, but
yeah, I didn't watch it. I can't remember what it's called, but I remember there was some it was a cool story.
What was it? I'm speaking out of my ass here, but I believe it wasn't it like a where like all of the I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but like where they're all different, or was it?
Oh, it was an anthology.
Anthology, yeah, that's what I got the vibe from it.
Oh, so he did an anthology. I would love to see that.
I'm not sure if he did or not, or if it was the same, but I think it was like more of an anthology series. But yeah, it's on Apple TV if you have Apple TV. But
I really want to see Old too.
Me too.
I just want to see, you know. I love Alex. I can't remember his name. Is it Alex Wolff?
Oh, I can't remember.
Peter. I don't know. Is the actor from Hereditary?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I like him. I think he's pretty good.
I'm excited. That one, it looks so weird. So I can't wait for that one. And like I say, hopefully we'll watch that one before the next podcast and we'll review that one. I know you guys.
I was reading some theories on it. What do you think? What do you think the big twist is?
Ooh, so, cause obviously you can kind of tell from the trailer that there's more to it just being that they're aging rapidly. Cause like towards the end, it starts looking like something's like stalking them or hunting them. So I don't know. I really don't. And I love not knowing. That's what I love.
Yeah.
Cause like when I saw The Sixth Sense, somebody had already told me what happens at the end.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the worst.
Oh, I know. That's like one of the perfect ones for like being surprised. And so like great movie, but you know, I wish I could have seen that without knowing what's going to happen. So like I'm kind of avoiding the old, like I don't want to know. But was there any theories out there that you would like to share?
Well, there's a theory that it's a time loop.
Yeah.
Kind of like, was it Tall Grass, the Stephen King? They're stuck in the grass, kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's also a theory that they're clones.
Okay.
That age faster. There's a lot of Reddit theories that just are ridiculous.
Oh, sure.
But I do want to see what he may not even have a twist like Lady in the Water or, you know, a few After Earth or one of those movies where there was no twist.
But this one's gonna have a twist. I would put your next paycheck on it. I would bet your next paycheck on it.
Mm.
Yeah, your whole paycheck.
Okay. Well,
there will be a twist in this one.
Daddy's got to eat.
Well, hey, if I'm right, you double your money.
You're right, which is not a lot. So,
but I think that there's going to be a twist on this one. I like, the best ones that he's had though have had great twists. Sixth Sense, The Village, the Visit. Oh, I love the twist in The Visit. Loved it. So that's why I like M. Night Shyamalan a lot.
What about the twist in The Happening? The plants.
That was stupid.
I know. Zoe Deschanel and her dumb eyes always.
Why is
Wahlberg? Oh, it was so bad.
Isn't it funny that there's like 10 actresses that all look like Zoe Deschanel? It's weird. They're all clones,
I actually don't.
Sure.
I like The Happening because it's so bad.
Yeah. I can't get with that. Like, name me another bad one by him. I might get with it, but I don't think
bad one. Oh, you know what is also great? Unbreakable, Split, and Glass.
I didn't like Glass. I liked Unbreakable, and I loved Split. Because halfway through the movie, I'm like, is this going to be like tied to Unbreakable? Because that would be badass.
Oh, so you actually guessed that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, and so when it happened, I was like, yes. And then when Glass came out, I was like, this wasn't as good as I'd hoped. Did you love that one, or how'd you feel about
Glass? I mean, he had to end it the way he ended it.
Maybe my expectations were too high. I don't know. I probably need to watch
I just thought it was cool that he had this universe going.
Me too. Yeah, because I was just like, okay, this guy seems like a super villain. Like he's got these powers and all that. Like, and so I was like, man, if this was tied to Unbreakable in the same universe, I'll lose my mind. And then by the end of the movie, you find out it is, and I was like, oh, that's great.
You know what is another bad? Well, it's not bad. Like the movie is good, and the ending is Signs.
Yeah, Signs.
Because the build up, and then you find out that they came to Earth. It's 70% water.
Yeah, and water kills.
Wait, is it more than that? Right? It's like it's a lot. The whole world is covered in water, and they come here to take us over. Mm-hmm. But they're allergic to it.
So Signs is like, I enjoyed Signs though. I liked the movie. I think you're right though. The ending was not satisfying. So I would put that one slightly above the other one that we mentioned that I don't like, which was, what was it again? The one that had the plants.
The Happening.
Yeah. Nah, that might be like one of the only ones I really just didn't like. Did he do The Last Avatar? Did he remake that one?
The Last Airbender.
Last Airbender, yeah.
He did that.
I enjoyed that one. I don't think I watched after. I enjoyed the Last Airbender. I didn't watch that show, so like I wasn't mad about anything like people who are married to the anime. But yeah, the After Earth that's not with Will Smith, was it?
Yeah, Will and Jaden.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I didn't even know that M. Night was the director on that one. So, well, was it any good? Should I watch that one? No.
Nah, it's no good.
Lame. What was the Will Smith movie where he plays like the younger version of himself? That wasn't it, was it?
Gemini Man.
Gemini Man. Okay. Yeah. All right. That was actually a decent movie, I thought.
Yeah. Wasn't bad.
All right. Well, that's pretty much a wrap for the show. That's all I got for this one. I think, like I say, I know you got some stuff coming up, so it might be a couple weeks before we do the show, because I really would like for both of us to see Old before the next one. So we unless something pops up, we might come back to do Old after we both watched it.
Okay, I'm in. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, it's busy. I mean, I'll be ready to go. We'll have some more stuff coming up. So
yeah, awesome. And then there's the Horror Con coming up this weekend at Remington Park. If you're here in Oklahoma City, is it in the park or is it over at the where they show the concerts, the Zoo Amp? Is it indoors or outdoors?
I'm pretty sure it's at the Remington Park convention area.
Oh, okay.
But then they're also having things at the Wyndham Hotel. It's all over the place.
Yeah,
you have to basically. I would suggest going to their Insta or their Facebook or social and just find out, because they're having like a screening of TCM2 at Remington Park, and a screening of I can't remember. There's Daniel Harris is going to be here, so they're doing Halloween 4, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's cool. So, yeah. And hopefully I'll try to get this episode up by tomorrow. That way the people that are like, oh, there's a horror con, they can make it out.
I said Remington Park. I think it's at Rodeo. So you just go to their social and you can find out where they're doing these. Yeah. Because they're doing the screening and the actor's going to be there, taking questions and stuff. So
yeah. That's so cool that because they're, and I'm not disparaging the horror con that used to be, because this is a different one in the last couple years than what we had before, but they've like amped it up. I feel like with getting in celebrities and stuff like that. So
it's getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah. So Rad and them, man, they're doing a great job with all that. Have you been to the Nightfall Haunted Territory yet?
I went to the one by the lake this year.
Oh yeah.
Last year.
So that's one. See, like the last couple years usually I love going to haunted houses everywhere. I'll travel out of town. We traveled out of town, didn't we? Didn't we go to Tulsa? Outside of Tulsa.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Was that for where we saw the Evil Dead musical?
That's where they did the Evil Dead musical. I don't think when we went, it was there yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so I love them. But the last couple of years, I just haven't been able to make it out. Last year, of course, was a pandemic. So Nightfall Haunted Territory is on my list this year, for sure. I can't wait.
Yeah, check it out. At Lost Lakes. It's fun. I don't know if they're going to be at Lost Lakes again this year, but it was fun last year. So.
I think they will. But yeah, check them all out on their Facebook pages, and I'll find a link to post on the show and everything. So. Right on. Well, that's it for me. You have a great week until we see you next time.
All right, I'll be right back.